Geoff, you see that? 2 weeks ago, you might have seen my video, that crazy shopping spree or spending $100 on 15 budget IEM from AliExpress. And all of them are here now, all 15 of them. In the interest of time, I will not be doing individual unboxing of these 15 IEMs because it can take forever and I don't want you to stay forever on my video. And once unboxed, I will be testing all of them with this FIO R9. Yes, a $1,005 flagship desktop audio solution to give the best possible source to test all these budget IM, which are all priced under $10. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your coffee. I got mine already. Because this is going to be a long video, okay? We have 15 IM for me to test, review, and pass judgment and do rating. Normally, I would prefer not to do this because we are talking about passing judgment on IEMs straight out of the box. And all 15 of them are dynamic drivers. Dynamic drivers typically would require quite a bit of burn-in in order to stabilize for them to sound the best. But let's just put it this way. Whatever that I'm doing today will be considered as something like on-the-fly, impromptu sound impression out of the box, okay? And I will just be using one song only, which is from Diana Krall, I Remember You, not more than 4 minutes. And I'll be using each of them, okay, with stock cable and stock ear tips, whichever that's included. So several factors will be taken into consideration, not just the sound itself, the wear factor, the comfort, the isolation, and I will input all of that, my findings, real time into my ranking system here, which you can actually access in the link below in the spreadsheet here. Okay, so let's just get started. Let's start with the first one here, which is CVJ, okay? And this is CVJ SD1. Okay, let's just have a look at the build itself first. The cable kind of a bit like, you know, springy type. Okay, let me just untangle this first, okay? You're seeing this, right? Okay, I'm not making this up. It is kind of like a bit sticky, the cable itself. Yeah, it does feel sticky. And it comes with microphone, the one that I have ordered. Okay, let's get this thing untangled. La 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 la. Okay, now. And with the price of well under $10, obviously I think this is the kind of build quality that you can expect from IEMs nowadays. And this silicone tips at least looks good enough to me. And it uses QDC. Now let's just wear this. Like that. Like that. Okay, no chin slider. And just the microphone here. Okay, I would say that the way I'm hearing it, the seal kind of like okayish, okay? And the comfort factor, because this is so ultra light, okay? It is very comfortable as well. So good on comfort and slightly okay on the isolation. Now let's just plug it in directly. And I'm just gonna stop this, put to one, and then just gonna listen to my music. Okay. Adjust the volume. Very strong V sound profile. Suppressed mid-range. A hint of micro detail. Clean macro detail. Very colored. The energy, the tempo, the pret, pace, rhythm, and timing, it is actually kind of like pleasing, relaxed, energetic but relaxed. The imaging and resolution is fairly okay, and I would even say that from the first impression alone, I would say that this is something which can be considered as laid back, very bassy laid back IM. And the treble seems to be roll off, obviously. So this is the kind of IM which is suitable for people who are sensitive to treble. Soundstage seems to be quite okay. It's circular wide And despite being an IEM, initially it does sound caved in, but after listening a bit more into the song, it's a bit more open. Separation and layering, fairly okay. All right, so I can put this now. As you can see on screen, right? This is CVJ SD1. Okay, let me see. So the pace and rhythm, I would say that, okay, I'll just give it 2, which is fairly okay. Dynamic extension 2 as well, okay. Transient speed seems to be let back, so it is a 2 as well, okay. Smoothness, good, which is 3, okay. Timbre and tonality, also good, okay. Sound richness, also good, okay. Fairly okay there. And let's just have a look here. Bass quality, kind of a bit loose, but at least it is not boomy. So I just give some credit to this thing, which is I'm just gonna give it a 3. Mids quality, so-so, 2. Okay. Treble quality also so-so, probably just very roll off. So it have to be 1. Transparency, very colored, 1. Macro detail, fairly okay at 2. Micro detail, 1. Resolution and imaging, okay, fairly good. At least it is smooth, okay, and clean. So I'm just gonna give it a 3. And let me see here. Soundstage, good. Spatial staging, kind of a bit traditional stereo, so I'm just gonna give it a 2. Layering and separation, fairly okay at 2. And then the last one, synergy and durability. At volume of 41, kind of like fairly okay, right? So I'm just gonna give it 2. Comfort, okay. I have to admit, it does feel comfortable. It's not touching my ear, so I'm just gonna give it 4, which is quite good. Very lightweight, extremely lightweight. Isolation and seal, so-so, okay. Build quality is okayish. Next one is QKZ. Okay, let's just see what we have here. This is QKZ AKX. Okay, some sort of a long code there. Yeah, it's AKX. QKZ AKX. And the build quality, again, all plastic. You can see transparent inside. The driver itself, single DD, and this silicone tip. And the cable, in fact, I would even say that it's pretty much identical to what I have tested earlier on the CVJ. Probably this is coming from the same factory. So let's just wear it. Very lightweight as well, ultra lightweight, comfortable. Seal factor, pretty much similar to the previous one that I have used. And I'm just gonna plug it in. Aha, easier to drive. So I'm just gonna turn down the volume a bit. All right, let me see. Another bassy set, very bassy. V sound curve, definitely. But I am hearing better resolution and sparkle on the upper frequency as compared to the CVJ, which I tested earlier. And better mid-range too. Impressive, actually. It is pretty much similar to the previous one. Warm sounding as well, overall. Near analog timbre. The mid bass and the sub bass kind of a bit dominating there. Okay, perhaps a bit more on the sub bass, which means that the extension is also good. But I think the soundstage separation and layering kind of a bit fairly okay. The soundstage is circular but small, cave in. All right. I think I can already have this recorded here. All right. Let me just add another line. So this is QKZ AKX. Okay. So according to what I am hearing, I think it has pretty much similar score here when it comes to dynamic extension, transient speed. It does sound kind of a bit slow. Smoothness, not so smooth, slightly lower. Timbre, slightly lower. At least it is rich in sound, okay? So the bass quality, yeah, it's a 3. Mid-range quality is a 2. But, of course, it presents the treble better than the previous one, which is a 2. And let's have a look here. Transparency, again, this is so very colored. It's a 1. Macro detail, probably 2 as well. And micro detail, slightly better because of the upper frequency details. So there's 2. I am hearing like, you know, a refined decay which exhibit micro detail. And then resolution and imaging, kind of okay-ish. Soundstage, okay-ish. Spatial staging, stereo as well. Okay. Let me see. Layering expression is pretty much similar. And this is identical to the previous one because the build quality, the cable and everything is practically the same. Another QKZ. And this is interesting. The build quality seems to be a lot better. You seen this? You are seeing this cable here. This looks good. This is even, you know, reminiscence of IEM, which is priced above 20 US dollar. Okay. And the build itself, have a look at here. It is actually quite good looking, slightly heavier. Okay. And let's just wear this. Comfortable. The design is quite really good. Actually, I'm feeling it on my ear that it sits very flush yet comfy and lightweight. Okay. And let's just connect it. Okay. Very strong mid bass. Okay, this is for people who love strong mid bass. And a hint of roll off in the sub bass. So this is mid bass heavy IM. And the treble is okay. Now I'm waiting for the mid range. The micro detail seems to be okay. Macro detail also okay. Yeah, I am hearing those finer details. Now the mid range. Wow. Almost transparent kind of mid range. The vocal, the pace, the rhythm, the prat. It is in fact smooth and mature sounding. The energy itself does not sound offensive at all. Not euphonic at all. And I think with burn-in, this unit might be a very good sounding IM. Let's check which one is this. This is Hi6T. Okay. And I will acknowledge that it does present the prat better. Extension fairly okay, surprisingly. Okay. Oh, hold on. Because the lower frequency is kind of a bit roll off, so it is still a 2. Okay. Because the extension covers for both, not just the upper, but the lower as well. This is mid bass heavy, but not so much on the sub bass. Okay. Transient speed. Still kind of a bit slowish, warmish. Okay. It is definitely smooth. So the overall smoothness is 3. Okay. Timbre and tonality, okay-ish. Okay. Sound richness, again, another 3. Bass quality, the mid bass is good. It is not boomy at all. It is punchy, commanding. The presence is good. The mid range offers kind of a bit more of transparency, so I'm just going to give it a 3. Treble quality seems to be quite good as well, a 3. Okay. Transparency improved. Okay. Macro and micro detail. Pretty much the same like the previous one, but the micro detail, yeah, I think it's okay. I'm just gonna give it a 3. I think it's fairly good with micro detail. Resolution and imaging, fairly okay at 3. Okay. Soundstage. This one is just kind of a bit narrow, right? Yeah, it's close in. Spatial staging, traditional stereo still. Then I think the rest pretty much similar. Okay, the build quality deserve one more point. CVJ TXS, this one. All right, so this is kind of a bit special because this CVJ TXS comes with configurable dip switches at the back here. Basically, you can tune this TXS into 3 different sound profile, and I have opted to set the dip switches to hi-fi mode, okay, because I think that's probably the best for audio, okay. And let me just untangle this. Let me just be very honest. This thing look like a candy, look like a toy, look like a cartoonish kind of thing. And of course, it's slightly bigger, okay, and it's a bit protruding with this back here. Let me just try the comfort. Yeah, I can really feel it because it's slightly bigger. So comfort is kind of a bit okayish, all right? I don't know whether I can wear this for a very long time. So let's just plug it in. Okay, I am no longer surprised. This is yet another very basic set. Oh, whoa. Huge presence of mid bass, but the sub bass is roll off. At least the energy is relaxed, somewhere between almost energetic and vibrant, but you know, it is okay. It is at least coherent sounding. The mid-range is for a V sounding IM, it's frontal, okay. And I would say that there's a hint of a lot of coloration there. You know, the vocal for Diana Cross sounded kind of a bit honky. Sorry. All right. So let's see. Transient speed is okayish, pretty much similar to the previous one which I have tested. Timbre and tonality, like that. All right. So this is a very colored set, okay, even in hi-fi mode. So I just gonna give it like this here, and it suffer a bit on the bass and also on the transparency, just like the previous one. And seriously, I can't get along with this kind of build. Okay, so it's gonna score really low, at least from my ranking system with the build there. This is just so cartoonish, even for a budget IEM. Okay, sorry about that. And next one, which is QKZ again, ZXT. Okay, let's see what this ZXT has to offer. All right, similar. It is entirely transparent as well. You can see the whole thing from the entire thing. Okay, just gonna plug in. Super lightweight, so it means that comfortable. It is wear comfort. You can be rest assured it's good. The size is pretty much regular size, so no issue there. Cable is also fairly okay, and I'm just gonna plug it in. Whoa, 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 whoa! This thing is super sensitive. I need to tone down the volume. Damn, that bass. Both bass and mid bass and sub bass, dominating. Okay, where's the treble? Well, sorry, where's the mid range? I guess this is the kind of thing that you can expect from so many IM nowadays, regardless of price. They tend to be very bassy. Okay, for somebody like me who love neutral sound, this is exceedingly bassy. But at least I will admit, the bass is tight. tidy. Does not sound boomy, does not sound sluggish. Okay. The presence and the dominance of the mid bass is just, it screams to you. The vocal is pretty much similar to the previous one, somewhere between, yeah, warmish, okay, colored. All right. I think I know the score for this one already. But at least one thing, it is not muddy and kind of a bit, the treble is strong as well, slightly bright, just slightly bright, a bit more energetic. So it suffers on the smoothness, okay. The transient speed is okayish, okay. Dynamic extension okayish. Okay, I just leave it at 2. Mid range is okayish, okay. Treble is good, despite being slightly brighter. I would say that, for treble head, they can still enjoy this kind of crisp, edge treble. Transparency, not transparent, definitely. All right, macro detail, blah, blah, blah. Okay, pretty much. How about the build quality? Yeah, I'm just gonna be at 2 because despite being super simple, it does look good. Okay, transparent. Aha, this is a brand which I haven't tried yet. X2 Pro, first time. And if you remember, I tried to order different color, but ran out of other color. Normally I prefer something which is black. But this one is, let me just try to untangle this first. This cable is pretty much similar to the previous QKZ cable, tend to tangle quite a bit. And this one is with microphone. And this is even lighter than the previous IEM. Okay, I would say that the design is fairly okay, simple, transparent, kind of a greenish thing. Okay, so let's just try it on. Yeah, super comfortable. Yeah, comfort is quite good. Isolation and seal also quite good. So let me just put this thing on. Efficient to drive. Let me see. I love this. The energy is quite smooth. And it is still bassy, V sound curve as well. But it is not too, dominating. So I'm just gonna paste here using the template for QKZ Hi6T because I think if I were to quickly compare between the two, they are pretty much similar in many ways. This one would be X2 Pro. Timbre and tonality is slightly better, I think. Yeah, because of that smoothness. Okay, the bass is also quite good. Okay, even the treble, I think this is very well balanced despite for being very bassy unit. Surprisingly. Okay. Transparency also, especially for the mid-range, seems to be okay. Still a bit of coloration in the mid-range, but that is the kind of coloration which I like. Okay. Micro detail slightly less. Okay. Resolution and imaging, okay, 3, fair. Soundstage is fair. Surprisingly, I think the layering and the separation is quite good. Yeah, synergy and durability, this is super easy to drive. Okay. Wear comfort, very good. The first KZ of the many KZ. Okay. If you don't know KZ, then you probably been living in a cave. Okay. So this is standard issue KZ cable with QDC termination, and the build quality, I would say that this KZ EDC seems to be quite good as well. It is in fact impressive for a budget under 10 US dollar. Okay, let's just, the wear, comfort, good. Yeah, I can already feel it. It's lightweight, just like the previous one. Okay. And the seal is not so much. Okay, I can hear my voice kind of like not as like, a seal is good when you hear something like, as if you are submerged. Okay, let's just try this. Ah, it need a bit more of power. Wow, a lot more power. You see that? Yeah, almost 50. Wow, what's the impedance of this thing? 35 ohm, that's why. And sensitivity is at, it does not mention. You know what? This is the most Harman tuned IEM so far, which I have tested. Okay. Or is it Harman? Yeah. The mid bass kind of a bit relaxed, but somehow the sub bass is also relaxed. But the mid range, it is rich. The texture is good. Colored, warm, and the treble is relaxed. The speed and the transient, the pace momentum, fairly okay. Yeah, this is kind of a bit almost mid-centric, very stereo, traditional stereo, not holographic. But what I like about it is the energy. Okay, it is definitely the kind of tuning which is suitable for people who love safe tuning, non-offensive at all. Okay, I think I know. Let's just do this. So let's just have a look here. Okay, pace and rhythm, slightly slow. Extension, 2 as well. Transient speed, slow. But it means the smoothness is good. Timbre and tonality, very good. Okay, sound richness, good as well. I think the bass suffers a bit because of that suppression of the mid bass. A good treble does not necessarily mean that they are peaky or bright or sparkly, but this is the kind of treble which appeals to people who love smooth sounding, smooth decay treble. So I'm just gonna leave it at 3, okay? Because I think it deserves a 3 there. Let me see. This is pretty much spot on for the rest. Wear and comfort for it, definitely. Okay, let's see the build. Yep, it's a 3. So, KZ EDC, not bad, not bad. Okay. And the next one, the legendary TRN MT1. Okay, I have owned this like 3 years ago. I used to buy this during the hype time. I remember that was like quite crazy. People were like, wow, such good IEM price at $9. And it is still today. This is probably the 4th iteration of MT1. Let's just try it out. So you can be rest assured, comfort, everything is, let's see the seal, is it okay? Let me try to see. Oh, the seal is good. Okay. Let's just plug it in. Woo! Okay, this is very efficient. I need to turn down the volume. Wow. And I am reminded why this TRN MT1 until today still exists, because I am hearing really well the rendering of the upper frequency, the pace, the energy, the rhythm, and this is straight out of the box, okay? Not even burned in yet. The sound stage, impressive. Almost holographic as well. Quite a surprise. And perhaps not a surprise because, like I say, this thing has existed for 3 years already, or 4 years perhaps, in the market, and still being marketed as MT1. So you can bet that it might have improved, over time. So I'm just gonna put there. This is probably gonna want to be the one that's scoring higher than the rest. Okay, this is TRN MT1. Is this a special edition or anything like that? No. Okay, I'm just gonna put there 2024. Okay. And looking at the setting here, it definitely have better pret. Okay. Extension, yeah, I will admit, okay, extension is good. I'm gonna give it a 3. But it still have that, transient speed, which is similar to the PR1, which is not so different from the rest of the IEM. Okay. Smoothness, okay, not so much because it's kind of a bit agey. Okay. Timbre and tonality, again, I suspect that it will get better over time, but as I am hearing it right now, it's kind of a bit, because of that brightness. Okay, it's a 2. The richness is fairly okay, and I just gonna give it, for bass, it is very well balanced. Okay, not too bassy in fact, compared to the previous one which I have tested. So I just gonna give it 3. And it seems to be very well segregated between mid bass and sub bass as well. Okay. So transparency is slightly better at 2. Micro detail 2 as well. Resolution and imaging 2. Okay. Can it beat X2 Pro? Let me see. Yes, this is where it gets better. Spatial staging and soundstage. Yeah. Layering and separation, pretty much similar to the rest. Okay. Okay, we have here CCA FLA. Okay. CCA, by the way, is a sister company to KZ. So you can expect KZ DNA here. In fact, the design and build. Wow. For something which is under 10 US dollar, this thing doesn't look like a budget IM, okay? With this kind of like pseudo hybrid metal, I don't know. But at the back here is a hard resin, not plastic, okay? The build is impressive. And it is still comfortable. Okay. The seal is fairly okay. All right. Not exactly the best, but fairly okay. Let's just hear this thing out. Okay, this is a bit more bassy than the MT1, definitely. You know what? I will swear to you, this thing sounds similar to KZ EDC, which I tested earlier. If you were to put me on blind test, I probably would not be able to tell the difference between the two of them, okay? So just remember this, KZ EDC and FLA is practically sounding, they are identical sounding. CS4, okay. Let's just have a look at the build itself. Again, this tangly cable, black cable, which is pretty much similar to many other IEM, which I have tried earlier, okay? And have a look at this. This thing is 100% transparent, okay? But the thing that worries me is that this edge here, which is kind of a bit sharp, and I suspect I would feel that in my ear. And have a look at the silicone tip, kind of a bit special, transparent as well. Okay, let's just wear it. Yep, true indeed, I am feeling it. Okay, that edgy thing. So I guess that, after 1 hour probably, that thing would be quite a discomfort. Okay. Seal wise, test 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Since I am underwater, so seal is okay. All right. So let's just hear the sound. I am no longer surprised. Another V sound curve, bassy tuning, and pretty much very similar to a couple or even 3 other IM which I have heard before, especially perhaps CCA FLA or even QKZ Hi6T. The mid bass is dominant. The sub bass is kind of a bit subdued. Okay, roll off. Mid range is good. The treble kind of a bit roll off as well. I think I know the score for this one already. Not much changes because, like I say again, similar kind of sound tuning with some other IM which I have tested earlier. KZ EDX Pro X, another long time IM which have survived for almost 4 years, okay, since the original KZ EDX, which I like quite a lot, after modification, okay? And we are talking about the latest or some variation of EDX. And let's just try this Pro X, which I assume is the higher range of the EDX model. Okay, comfortable. How about the seal? The seal is okay. Wow. Bassy. It seems to me like they tend to make the Pro moniker being, more bassy than the non-Pro. But it does have that proper tuning, well-balanced tuning, okay, when it comes to, the balance between musical and analytical. Pace and rhythm seems to be quite good as well. Now I understand why EDX, especially I think EDX Pro X, would survive until today. This is one of the few IEM which defies the price tag of under 10 US dollar. The kind of IEM which makes you wonder, right? If 10 US dollar can sound like this, there's maturity to the tuning itself, the pace, rhythm, and timing, the way it presents the dynamic transient. Yeah, quite good. I would even dare say that this is probably pretty much on par to TRN MT1 2024, which I have tried earlier. Two impressive IEM. Yep. The difference being is that, okay, EDX Pro, okay, offer a bit more of bass in terms of density and presence. MT1 would appear brighter, a bit more focused on the treble, energy, and sparkle. But otherwise, quality-wise, okay, both of them are pretty much similar. KZ EDX as well. But this one is the Lite version. So let's find out what's the difference between Pro and Lite. Okay. Transparent. You can even see slightly different driver there. Interesting. Okay. And no longer a surprise, pretty much a hard plastic, transparent plastic. And I expect it to be lightweight and comfortable as well, similar to the other IEM, which I have tested earlier. Yeah, true indeed. Okay, so the isolation is okay, quite good. Okay, similar to EDX Pro. This is kind of a bit difficult for me. Perhaps I think there's similarity to EDX Pro in terms of tuning, but if I am hearing this correctly, somehow I would think that this EDX Pro kind of a bit more energetic. I don't know. Perhaps my listening is broken, but it does appear to be a bit more energetic with the, it is a bit more vibrant and exciting. Bass level pretty much similar, but I think the EDX Pro might be a slightly bassier, just slightly. And the upper frequency, the treble seems to be kind of a bit, yeah, they toned down the upper frequency, the treble. So I think this is where the changes between Lite and Pro. So it's the treble, okay? It's lighter. It's even, more roll off. But otherwise, it is pretty much similar to EDX Pro in many ways. So we have 3 more left. You still with me? Thank you. Don't sleep yet. Let's just have some coffee before I move to the last 3 one, because the next 3 IEM will be slightly different in the form factor. Let me just show you this. Let's just start with TINHiFi C0. And why is it different? This is bullet type, okay? Instead of going over your ear, it is going straight down. But let's just appreciate the build quality first. If you tell me that this IEM is priced at 70 or even 100 US dollar, I would believe you, because this is how it look like, with this metal shell, okay, and this superb, finishing here, which is like kind of like gunmetal. I really love this kind of, finishing. And the cable itself, not too bad at all. In fact, I have seen 50 US dollar IEM coming with worse cable than this. Okay. Right, let's just have a try. Wow, easy to wear. Isolation is not so good as compared to, the over the ear type. So isolation, but the comfort is definitely really good with this ELF. This thing doesn't sound like 10 US dollar or under 10 US dollar IEM. If, again, anybody were to tell me this is 70 US dollar or even 50 US dollar, I will believe them, because that's exactly how I am hearing it now. Very nice tuning. Well balanced, not too bassy, which is something which I can relate to, something which I like. The mid bass is solid, but not too overbearing. Perhaps the sub bass kind of a bit roll off, all right? The mid range, it is actually transparent, right? A bit laid back. And the upper frequency will not offend people who are sensitive to treble. One of the most well balanced so far among the 12 that I have tried earlier. Wow, TINHiFi did really good job here, okay? For something which is under 10 US dollar. I have no doubt this thing will score higher than the rest of the competition so far. Because I appreciate balanced tuning, okay? Not to focus heavily on bass, not to focus heavily on being so energetic, and not too laid back. So this is, again, balance. With another one, bullet type, and this is from KZ. KZ gonna do everything, right? All type of IEM. Okay, this is KZ Ling Long, finally. And if I'm not mistaken, it is quite interesting as well, the package. Let me just show you this. For something which is really cheap, under 10 US dollar, it comes with this Pelican case. Would you believe it? Okay, let me just put this aside. Alright, let's just have a look at the build quality. Metal, okay. But then again, I have seen that TINHiFi just now. I will admit that TINHiFi looks better, okay. But doesn't mean that this is sloppy either, okay. This is already very good because of the metal construction and smaller, in fact. Let me see which one is left, which one is right. Okay, just put it. Okay. Yeah, seal and cobalt, similar to the TINHiFi. Wow. I know this sound. I know this sound. And this is not even burnt in yet, okay? Require even a bit more of power. Remember that, this thing probably will scale better if you apply power to it and will sound amazing. Yes, that's the word here, amazing, like this. Let me just see here. I just need to check because this reminds me to another IEM which I am so very familiar with, which is, can I find it here? The tuning is quite good. And again, another IEM which does not suggest that this thing is under 10 US dollar. This is more like 70, 50 US dollar IEM. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna copy CCA, CRA and place it under here because there's similarity between those two. Having said that, I would also say that probably for people who love big bass, this is not a bass head type of IEM, okay? The mid bass is there, boosted, but not so much, just nice, okay? And I can steal a bit of sub bass as well, okay? Transparency, very good, no doubt. It is scoring exactly like CCA or CCA CRA, sorry, because CCA CRA is a sister company to KZ. Similar tuning, yes. Impressive. Seriously impressive. Okay. And down to the last one. Another bullet IEM from KBEAR. Okay. All black. So can this KBEAR beat KZ Ling Long? Let me see. Okay, let me see. Where is it? Where is left is right. Okay. Actually, the build quality is quite nice. Simple, black. And while it does not look luxurious or anything like that, but I think it represents similar kind of look to Atimotic. Yeah, even the size, almost. So I'm just gonna wear it like that. Comfortable. Seal, test 1, 2, 3. Wow. Yeah, the seal is good. Oh, there it is again. That big bass. I was hoping this is kind of like, for something which is a bit more transparent. Apparently no. KBEAR Little Q is a bassy set for people who love big bass, but to me, wait, macro detail, wow, very strong. And micro detail as well. The resolution of the treble is, damn, it's good. This is a W sound curve. The mid-range is dominant as well. The mid-bass and the sub-bass equally split. But I would say that, if the lower frequency were to be toned down a bit and the mid-range toned down a bit, it would appear more neutral. Soundstage is small, unfortunately. Okay, the timbre is so-so, right? Because it's kind of a bit metallic, almost sounding like a balanced amateur. So the timbre, not so good. The sound richness is fairly okay. Okay, extension is okay, transient speed is okay, pret is okay. Transparency is lower. Okay, macro detail 3.3. Okay. Yeah, really good. I would even say that, yeah, I know this might seem ridiculous, but I think the way this KBEAR present the macro detail is creeps. So I don't care, just gonna give it this score. All right, soundstage is small, spatial is okay, layering aspiration. You know what? The spatial staging is not holographic after all. It's kind of like, the soundstage is very small. Yeah, I think that's the biggest con for this one. It's circular but very narrow, even narrower than Etimotic. Okay, let me just do a quick one. How many we have done so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yay! You're still here with me. Thank you. Congratulations. You made it. Have some coffee. All right. Let's just try to summarize things up, okay? All 15 IEM which I have tried earlier, marked in red here, okay? And I will leave it in red so that after this, you can click on the link below, you can have a look, okay? The score which I have rated for all of these IEM. And I would say that, after testing, you have seen it since the very beginning. I am most impressed with KZ Ling Long, okay? This one. Yes, this is it. KZ Ling Long. And this is pretty much, I would say that, the budget version of CCA CRA or even the sibling of KZDFI or even ZBX exhibit similar kind of tuning. So if anybody were to ask me what I would recommend for under 10 US dollar, I would not to hesitate to recommend this. And my second recommendation would be, let me see here, TINHiFi ELF, okay, another bullet tab. Simply because, right, the tuning is amazing as well. Let me just try to find it. Hold on. Oh yeah. Wow, 2 bullet IM. And the next one would be, let me see. It have to be TRN MT1, okay? That crazy MT1, which has been around for 4 years already, okay? There's a good reason for it to be around. So, the 3 of them would tops my recommendation. If you love something which is, a bit more neutral, a bit more, well balanced throughout the entire frequency range, the way they're being tuned, Ling Long tops the list, what you have witnessed just now, okay? And if you look at the competition here, I would say that anything that scores above 50, quite a few of them, all right, indicate that, my suspicion is justified, okay, at least from my perspective. Now, at this age and time, price no longer determine quality, because one thing very sure that I can declare right now is that all 15 of them does not sound muddy at all, okay, does not sound, kind of like, cheap at all, because if I were to check back 2 years ago, okay, there's quite a number of other IM which scores lower, especially something like CVJ Angel Wings or even CVJ Demon. Those two IM are outright muddy, and kind of like not pleasant to listen to. Okay, but all 15 that I have tried so far, any one of them, especially the one that scores above 50, are definitely the kind of IEM which you can expect, you know, if they were to be priced higher at around 50 or even 70 US dollar. And I would even say that this KZ Ling Long and this ELF, if they are being sold at around 150, I would still believe it, because I have tried many IEM anywhere from $5 all the way to 3,500 US dollar. Okay, so I know what I'm talking about. Okay, if you think I'm not making any sense, sorry about that. I'm just expressing my thoughts on this. Okay, my perspective on this. So I hope this has been useful to you. And okay, hold on. One more thing. The general tuning for all of them, okay, out of 15, the majority of them are all bass heavy. Okay, only this Ling Long and this TINHiFi C0 are the one which I would not consider as non-bassy. Okay, they are still closer to neutral, not exactly neutral. They are flatter, but the kind of tuning which I like. So just an indication that it says a lot about the preference of the market nowadays. Okay, it is a lot easier to sell IEM which offer huge amount of bass. Okay, again, thank you so much for your time. See you next time.